The college football experience, Florida State Seminoles 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with our promo code TCE SGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
To the college football experience, Florida State Seminoles 2025 season preview. Yes, and look, get on over here. We're breaking out all 136 teams with the solo episode, just like we do each and every year. But this year it's 136, and we're deep in the weeds here. All right, we're talking about a 2-win team. Oh, that's won a bunch of national championships.
So we get our kicks doing the Seminole rap.
We are the Seminoles of Florida State. We know we're good, some say we're great. Our goal is simple, best in the land. Rocking to the beat of the Modest Cheese Band. On Saturday night, we'll spread our stuff to show the nation that those are tough. When others play us, they be illin', cause they all know we just be
the bridge right here. Damn, that's heat. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Oh, boy. Florida State Seminoles. I mean, they have greats at every position. They should have been in the playoffs 2 years ago, completely robbed. But then last year, the wheels blew up. They didn't fall off. They just blew up. They detonated over the summer or in Ireland, one of the two. I've had an Irish car bomb. Maybe that's what happened. The wheels just boom. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Basketball Experience with me. And when the season goes live, we'll be talking hoops every night. But same for football. Give it up for Farmer, Stafford, Austin P with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers. Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, buddy?
What is up? Yes, love the Seminoles. Passionate fan base. Year to forget, but hey, we're on to 2025, baby. Chop on.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Yeah, that's a good. And come be a part of the chat. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We're good. We're going deep here, people. We got fans everywhere. Let's go. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Come be a part of the chat. And I mean, look, this is why the whole Dion thing I found hilarious because I feel like I did smash the over on Colorado both those years and they cashed. You're welcome. But everyone was, you bringing in a whole team of transfers. It's like, wait a second. Florida State's been doing this for a few years. Before that, last year it did backfire. But Mike Norvell, I was not in love with the hire when it happened. But at the same time, he has done better at times than I ever thought he would do in Tallahassee. I know that's, a little bit at Florida State, you should be competing for national championships. Make no mistake. and they got robbed. Who knows if you play those games? I know they say, well, you're on your third string quarterback. Well, I mean, Cardale Jones won a national championship as the third string quarterback of Ohio State. And he came in and won the natty for them essentially right before the playoffs. So why couldn't Florida State have done that? We'll never know. And that's why you always, be wary of the bullshit. And I'm glad we have a 12-team playoff now, and hopefully we can rid that. But where are you at with Coach Norvell? Because like I said, those 2 years prior, youtube.com/the college experience, we got slides and everything. In 22, he was 10-3. In 23, he was 13-1. Is this just a classic? You live by the portal, you die by the portal, or where do you make a coach?
Have you ever seen a bigger, we do this on the show where we give out the ceiling and the floor. Well, Florida State lives and dies by the ceiling and floor because this is crazy. From 13-1 to 2-10. I do agree. Yeah, live by the portal, die by the portal. They brought in the wrong dudes last year. And in this era where you pay the players up front, those dudes quit last year. They got their money. They made business decisions. There's no culture. And they checked out. It wasn't a fluke 2-10 either. It wasn't like they lost a bunch of one-score games. They got their ass kicked over and over and over again. And it's truly a year to forget in Tallahassee. But I mean, I would imagine brighter days are ahead. This is a proud program. I'm not the biggest Norvell guy, but it is wild because what a difference a year makes. A year ago, you probably put him right behind Dabo, potentially among ACC coaches. Now he's on the hot seat 365 days later.
I mean, he does have a loss to an FCS school in his tenure too. I mean, that's not doing much, but, well now, but he could say now they're FBS guys. Now they're FBS. Here's the question I would ask you is he went out and hired Gus Malzhan to run his offense. And, Gus walks into an offense that was absolute dog shit last season. That was the worst part about it is they were more talented than 2-10. They just up and quit. And it's hard to get behind a team that does that, or perhaps the staff. Scoring offense, they were 130th a year ago, 116th in pass offense. DJU, what up? Rush offense, 128th, and total offense 132 out of 134. That's impossible, Mac. You're fucking Florida State. How does this happen? This is a conspiracy. I feel like that warden in Shawshank, right? Everybody's in on it. This is impossible for this to happen. But I gotta ask you, is the better head coach the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean he's been to a national championship at Auburn, and it does feel like he's re-energized. He doesn't have to worry about recruiting. He can just call plays. You know what's crazy, Colby? Throughout the one FCS game, their biggest offensive juggernaut game was the game in Ireland when they scored 21 points. They failed to score 20 points in every single game the rest of the year. Teams are basically shut out. I mean, it wasn't all DJU. I mean, when you're that bad across the board, it's bigger than one guy.
Yeah, but DJU,
he's horrible.
Why did you go pro? I mean, in college, someone would have gave you at least, 6 figures. You could.
I wouldn't have.
I mean, the Jiffy Lube job will be there for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm joking. Gus is gonna come right in and fix this offense. I can guarantee you that. Like this, I know we're gonna rattle off. What exactly is back. Like on the offensive side of the ball. They bring back nobody. Wait, here's Mike Norvell and Gus Malzhan at their first team meeting. We got some audio from it.
And you know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity. I'm like, let's go. Now, I met with the team. There is no team.
I mean, what I can appreciate is their commitment to the portal. It's 4 years in a row of just stacking the fucking team with 0 returning starters on offense. But they brought in Tommy Castellanos, and he's been chirping a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, there were moments where I liked Castellano at Boston College. There was also moments where I was like, no, don't throw that. Right? I don't think anyone could have liked the way it ended at Boston College. He got benched for Grayson James, the Florida international transfer, and he quit the team the next week. So that is a little bit of a red flag to me on a team that quit last season. Why would you pinpoint him as the guy to go after? Now, I do think there is a world where he can benefit. Like, he is mobile. I mean, he beat Florida State at Florida State last year, and I was very impressed that game. And I could see it working in a Gus Malzhan offense, but call me crazy. You had a team quit on you last season. Why do you go get your starting quarterback from a guy that quit on a bowl team a year ago? I just, even though I think it fits a little bit for Malzahn's offense, I just am like, I couldn't believe that, like, this is our guy. You see, and they got him like early. Like, they got him, like, I feel like before the portal was even open. It was like November. It was like, we're eating Thanksgiving. It was like Castellanos to Florida State. I was like, man, like, did you pinpoint this? You see, It's almost like someone tapped Norvell on the shoulder. Did you see the guy who quit up at Boston? He's like, we got a quitter. We got a good quitter. All right. Tell him to come down to Tallahassee. We're quitting fine here. He can be a star for us. But there is moments where I think the guy can fucking play. So it's like, there's a shot if all goes well here. Yeah, I could see it working. Where are you at with Castellanos? And I'll talk about some of the other portal guys in a second.
Yeah, this is a fascinating just situation altogether. Because, I mean, he lit up Florida State. So I can see why Florida State's like, hey, and it wasn't the best fit in Bill O'Brien's system. I mean, the year before that, he rushed for over 1,100 yards. Last year, he only had 200. And he was recruited by Malzhan. He started his career at UCF before transferring to Boston College. So there's familiarity, and I agree. He is a good fit. The physical football side checks all the boxes. But I have a hard time getting on board with the guy that just quit a winning team in the middle of the year because there was a little bit of adversity. I mean, that's a huge red flag for me with the intangibles, and you're supposed to be the leader now.
Yeah, and this is a good point by Dilly Daggers. I was kind of buying into KJ Jefferson working out with Gus Malzhan last season. That was a disaster.
It was. And he quit too, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Malzhan quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that too. It's like he saw the OC. He's like, you know what, Malzhan just quit UCF. We got a home for him down here. Look, they went out and got Castellanos. They also got Jalen King from East Tennessee State, who played well for them. Gavin Salchuk, a running back coming in from the Sooners of Oklahoma. I like his game, man. Duce Robinson, who I think could be a nice get from USC. Squirrel White. I'm very disappointed that, to me, Squirrel White only had one possible place he could transfer to outside of Tennessee, and that was West Virginia. Very disappointed. Very disappointed that a guy named Squirrel is heading to Florida State. But look, he's had moments a couple years back. He played pretty well for Tennessee. Gavin Blackwell from North Carolina transfers in. Marquiston Douglas, I believe he was at Florida State 2 or 3 years ago. Comes in from Arizona State. Maybe I'm wrong. Not Randy Whitman, but Randy Pittman from UCF following coach over. And then a slew of offensive linemen, 2 tackles from Vanderbilt. Matthews, a kid from Rutgers at the a lot of tackles. Pettis from Ole Miss. Adrian Medley from UCF following coach over. Luke Pettibone from Wake. Oh man. I mean, I do believe the offense is going to be a lot better than 132. I almost feel like it's impossible.
It is.
At Florida State, like this is going to be a stat, I think, in 50 years where you'd be like, has Florida State ever finished worse than 120th in offense? And you're going to say no, and they're going to point to this year. This will be on Jeopardy or some shit. I mean, I fully expect these numbers to be cut in half, even if they suck. Impossible. This is Florida fucking State. You with me here?
Yeah. I was letting you finish because you're on a roll. And a lot of these guys in the portal, Whether it's Castellanos, Duce Robinson, Gavin Sawchuk, Squirrel White, and they all, it felt like, had better 2023s than 2024s. So they're buying the dip on a bunch of guys, kind of like their own program right now. So it's a lot of bounce back candidates. The offensive line obviously is going to be the big thing. You got to be able to block in Malzahn's system. Got to be able to run the ball, and I would imagine that they're going to lean on Castellanos' legs a lot. I just worry about if there's a little bit of adversity with some of these guys, do they just lay it down once again? But the talent, they do have talent on this roster. So these guys have all at some point flashed at the Power 4 level in their career.
Yeah. I'll be at ACC Media Days next week, and I'm going to ask Norvell that question if it comes up of what made him target Castellanos. One thing that I can't get out of my mind is I was having some conversations off air with a few people that I respect their college football opinion as well, as much as me and yours, and they were saying the portal this was the weakest year the portal has ever existed. In this short tenure of the portal being open. And I think that's because everyone's figuring out how to retain the players that they want financially. But doesn't that make it scarier for a team that lives off the portal like Florida State?
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit scarier, I feel like, knowing that the talent is not as good as it was 2 or 3 years ago when the shit was brand new and everyone was going everywhere and, the NIL collectives weren't in order. That is a big question mark, I think, moving forward. And even for Colorado or all these other teams that live in the portal, I don't know that it's as talented as it's been in years past. So, going to talk about the defense, but before I do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience, Florida State Seminole style, is brought to you by Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. Think you know ball? Then you have to enter Circa's football contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There is no rake, so if the entries go above the guarantee, all the extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Million. You pick 5 teams against the spread each week. NFL, of course, or go for the ultimate sweat in the NFL Circa Survivor. There's even a lesser one there, Circa Grandissimo, for $100K Survivor contest if interested there. You must register in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, Las Vegas. I'll be there in 48 hours if all goes well. What a great reason to book a trip to Vegas, though. Honey, I got to enter. Stadium Swim, biggest sportsbook in the world. Sign up in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere. With the help of SGPN's official proxy, go to footballcontest.com. Use our promo code SGP. SGP is our promo code for this one to get $50 off your proxy fees. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including all the summer action. Been betting the hell out of these CFL games. MLB, WNBA, golf, tennis, all that good stuff, and of course, college football futures, folks. Look, MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations, even outside of the States. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to mybookie.ag, but when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. Shout out to Orange Chicken. Shout out to the whole chat. Come be a part of the chat. A lot of people talking. Can Castellanos stay healthy?
That's a big X factor too.
Yeah, because he's had that. That's been a bit of an issue with him at BC. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball because they hired Tony White away from Nebraska. Nebraska's defense was pretty fire last year, and I like Tony White. I mean, he was at Syracuse under Dino Babers, had a really good year there as well. I like the hire. Now, he's got his work cut out, but scoring defense, 87th season ago. Obviously, Tony White was not there then. Pass defense, 41st in the country. Rush defense, 106 at Florida State. Disgusting. Charting at the 86th best defense in the country. I just am still dumbfounded. Florida State, I mean, this is a school I could do an hour on how many great players when I think of Florida State, whether it's obviously Deion Sanders, but I mean, there's so many good defensive players that came here from here. I didn't think I'd ever see a day they were 106 in the nation in rush defense. But here they are. He does bring back a few players here. Darrell Jackson, the defensive tackle, who was a Miami Hurricane transfer, disgusting, but he played for the Seminoles last year. Omar Graham, linebacker spot, and KJ Kirkland at the safety spot, all back for them Noles. They hit the portal heavy, of course. James Williams comes in from Nebraska. This is a guy with a lot of talent. I think it's probably maybe their best transfer portal get on the defensive side of the ball because he's familiar with Tony White. Deontay McCray from Western Kentucky, Demonte Diggs from Coastal Carolina, Jason Jenkins on the D-line from Tennessee. Those are all on the D-line. Linebacking core, Stephon Thompson from Nebraska, once again familiar with White. Linebacker Elijah Herring from Memphis, Caleb Leveille from North Carolina, and cornerback Jeremiah Wilson from Houston. I did think he was solid. Safety Jarvis Boatwright as well from USC. Mac, a lot of new faces.
It's crazy.
86. Like I think they got to be a lot better though, because one thing I will say is I think the schedule's easier this year too, which we're going to get to in a little bit. We're going to go game by game on the schedule, but I'm going to smash that the offense and defense going to make gigantic improvements this year. It's not sustainable if they win 2 games again. Like they have to be a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll take some strides here. Tony White, you mentioned it, coming from Nebraska. He was at Syracuse too before that. So he's been with good defenses, and I think they invested a lot of their resources on the defensive side. It is crazy that this was the better unit last year, and these were the numbers.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Shout out to Ryan Gordon. There's White running a 3.35. Yeah, I believe so. I think he's a Rocky Long guy, so I would fully expect that. As far as I know, he is. That's his MO and his bread and butter of how he's gotten paid and how he's been so successful. But yeah, big questions on the defensive side of the ball. The portal hits. We'll see how it works. I mean, I do like the fact he brought in a couple of his own guys from Nebraska with him.
Yeah.
So that's a couple nice pieces there. We talk about state of the program. I think this is all part of state of the program, the portal, especially a team like Florida State, which just keys in on the portal year after year, but also, coaching, coordinator hires, all that stuff, and stadium, of course. Well, did I forget the slide? I did forget the slide. But Doak Campbell Stadium. Let me see if I can quickly upload this slide here, because I feel like I'm cheating the people. If you're listening to this on the at a bar and it's just you're not getting the actual graphic, Mac. But this stadium, man, I have been to this stadium, and let's just say it is a college football gem in my mind. They do a really good job. They throw money into it to and I, in my mind, that's like they've really preserved it by doing that. Here we go, right here. Oh no, hang on. What am I doing wrong here? There we go.
A lot of great games while you're loading it up. A lot of great games at this stadium. Yeah, and they have one of the H field goal posts that we were talking about last night. There we go.
Yeah, I mean the H field goal post, by the way, the old school H field goal post that I think LSU and Florida State are the only FBS ones to do this. 9 out of 10, and I think you could talk me into a 10 of 10 too, man. The more I think about it after doing these slides, I think it is a 10 of 10. It's 75 years young, and yeah, I think it's just a really good stadium, man. And if you look at this thing, they've thrown a bunch of money. Well, first Muddy Waters was there, my dog. Muddy Waters. Forgive me, Florida State fans, if you took a shit right after this, but you guys were 2-10 last year, so he was only sniffing around what that program really was. This was last October or November, something like that. It's a great stadium though, Mac. This is a fire fucking place to catch a college football game, man. Even if they are 2-10. All right. And I'll make my point on that in a second. But look at the H goalpost, man. Fire.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah. It is a gem. Shout out to the chat. They know what's going on here. Yeah. It is just a great place to catch a game. Look at that. That's their castle, man. You got to storm that castle. I don't think so. All right. That's why Norvell should be on the hot seat. You can't go 2-10 having the whole goddamn nation storm your castle. All right. Look at these, man. They got some fire statues, man. And look at that. That's a fucking gem of a fucking stadium right there, man. You ever been down to Tallahassee?
I've been to Tallahassee. I've not been to a Florida State home game. It's on my bucket list.
It's fire, man. It's fire. You got to go. And even if they're losing, they got great fucking guys reading fucking spy novels. So, look, this is one of my favorite things. This is from 7-8 years ago. And then last season he made an appearance.
Hey, he looks better.
He does. What happened, man? Is that he's throwing some just for men in that hair. I don't know if it's exactly the same guy. We need a confirmation on this, but if it is, I need him on the fucking show. I would love to get him on the show. Anyone know this guy? Please, or either of these guys. I was told by the internet it's the same guy, but man, I don't know. I know it's 2025, so I mean, what does Ace Ventura say? That kind of work can be done over the weekend. But, he looks like a grandpa here, and he looks like, late 40s here, in my opinion. So, but even when you're losing, the doke can be fun. It's a fire stadium, though, man. 10 of 10, actually. I'm not even giving it a 9. I'm improving my 9 to a 10. What are you giving this thing?
I'm giving it a 10. And when they run out and they plant the spear, that's one of the great traditions in college football.
Yeah, I think I gotta look at that shit, dude.
They honored the Native Americans down there, baby.
As they should. There we go.
There he is.
Yeah. 100%. Like, they all got it wrong. I've been saying this forever. They all got it wrong. In 100 years, everyone's gonna be like, why the hell did they do that? All right. You should honor Native Americans in their history in this country. Yeah, look at that fucking stadium, dude, though. They got a great entrance, one of the best entrances in all of college football. Just a great look. The whole fucking stadium. Got the band there, of course. Great fight song. How about their fight song? Fire ass fight song. 10 of 10, man. Florida State doing it well.
It is a castle lookalike.
That's what I'm saying. It's perfect.
Yeah,
that's the way everyone's football stadium should be. That's why the NFL fucking blows, because they forgot about that. Right? They used to do that. Look, you got Bobby Bowden statue too. Let's go. It's just a fire stadium, man.
That nighttime game.
Yeah, they just do it right. Even the old school look here. Old school. That is one thing I noticed, man. It's like going through some of these photos, I feel like, am I crazy? Did they change their red? It used to be more of a brighter red.
Yeah,
and it went to like darker. A maroon. Yeah. I feel like the brighter one I like more. State of the program. This is a hard one because you're like, this is Florida State. It's literally 2 years ago they got robbed of the playoffs. They should have been in the playoffs. Who knows if they win a natty. So it is a true turnkey program. So even off of a down year, I'm giving this thing a 7 of 10. Am I a fool, Mac?
No, I was going to give it a 6. I mean, they are off a 2-win season. It's crazy. If we had done this last year, it would have been a 10 or at least a 9. And now, I mean, what a difference a year makes. I'll go 6 out of 10. They got to bounce back.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that schedule. Let's go game by game on that schedule. But before we do that, I want to let the good folks know that the Florida State Seminoles 2025 season preview is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million in first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades, and Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football, folks. So hop on over to Underdog Fantasy, sign up, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits there. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yep, you probably heard me talk about Rhythm before. Well, they just dropped a new game-changing feature called Power Trends. Yes, these are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model is consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. The MLB Power Trends are 254 and 147 this season, a win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in their last 400 bets. WNBA Power Trends even better, 35 and 20 since they launched, almost 64% there, a 20.7% ROI. So what are you doing? Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your free 7-day trial period today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back talking Noles. State of the program. I say 7. He says 6. I think it's all very, it's definitely not what it was, but can they get it back there? I see the chat talking about the glory years. Of course they can get it back there. Week 1. Oh boy. Mike Norvell was probably thinking 2 years ago, fuck yeah, give me Bama. Then last season, he's like, any chance we can get Bama State? Alabama is coming into Tallahassee. Oh man. The series goes back quite a ways to the 1960s there, but look, I would love for Florida State to win this game. They're gonna get fucked up. I'm really high on Bama this year. I think DeBoer's better than last season as a head coach. Get him reuniting with Grubb, I think, is a big bit, all the difference. So I am all over Alabama here. What is that line currently? It's like 12 or something. Yeah, I would lay it personally, and I don't like saying that normally on the road, but Castellanos is already talking shit too, which, come on, dude. I just can't get there, man. I think Bama's going to win this thing. Personally, I think it's going to be like 38-20.
Yeah.
Bama rolls. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm taking Bama. They have way more continuity coming back. I hate that Castellanos is already talking all that shit. It's like, hey, man, how about flying under the radar? You guys were 2-10 last year, and you quit your team that went to a bowl game. Bama's just a better roster.
Yeah.
And it'll be rocking, though, down there.
That's their best hope. Their best hope is Bama's uncertainty at quarterback, whether it's Simpson, whether it's Austin Mack. Either one, I think it's going to be their first ever road start. So your best hope, they come in there, that crowd is rocking so much. If you're a Nole fan, you got to get out there and represent, because maybe an early pick 6 and then momentum can be a thing. I've seen it a million times in college football with a young quarterback. That's your best hope, but I can't get there with Florida State winning that game. The good news is, for some reason, Texas A&M Commerce, with this Chinese food restaurant logo, is on the schedule, and they changed their name somewhere. I'm still calling them Commerce, right? What the hell is this game doing on the schedule? This is the same logic. If you listen to our Nebraska preview, I gave Nebraska a ton of shit for putting Houston Baptist on the schedule, a team that has a CVS in their stadium. Houston Baptist is kind of a new team to the FCS. Well, Texas A&M Commerce is even newer. This is a terrible game. I mean, I guess if you get your ass whooped by Alabama, it's the perfect game. But I just wish it would be a more relevant FCS, because I'll lay 54.5 here. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Florida State's going to kill them. This is such a trash game.
Well, don't worry. I mean, the schedule, in my opinion, it breaks kind of nice for Florida State this year. Despite look at this, Billy Parcells. Billy Parcells was once a Nole, right, on the staff. Look at that gun he's got there. Goddamn corduroy pants on, firing the football around like he's Broadway Joe. Bill Parcells, who knew, right? All right. Well, next they host Kent State, who I have power rated as my 136th team in college football out of 136. And get this, I had them power ranked that before their coaching turnover. They fired Kenny Burns.
Yeah.
A bunch of players left. Then they're DC. They're sitting DC. I think this was last week or the week before. Left to go to an FCS school to be the positions coach. Unfucking believable. I honestly, I would not have Kent State ranked in the top 40 FCS teams. This is going to be another bloodbath. You're basically playing two shitty FCS teams. Win by, I'll lay 49.5 here. What are you doing here?
Yeah, who's better, Kent or Commerce?
I think I might even take Commerce because of the continuity. But, I mean, this is why, like, I can understand, as much as I despise some of the committee people, like, or, you know, like the people chanting for, like, they need to dive deeper into the schedules. I do agree. Like, as far as, like, not to say that they should put in SEC teams over ACC teams or Big 12 teams. I'm saying, like, not all wins are the same. Like, I like Kent State, and Florida State probably didn't know that their Kent State was going to be this bad 3 years ago when they probably scheduled this game, because they were making bowls under Sean Lewis. But man, you have to say this is two terrible fucking games. Like, I honestly expect both lines to be 49 or higher.
Yeah.
2-1. So. All right, then Burt Reynolds. Oh, by the way, you know Burt Reynolds played football at Doak Campbell Stadium. I love this logo that someone did on the internet that I jacked. This is kind of a huge game. Obviously, I have memories as a child of one of the greatest college football games I've ever seen in my life, and I'm sure one that Florida State fans will, complain that I brought it up, because there is a lot of people think he scored a touchdown, perhaps, when Percy Ellsworth, I believe, kept work done from the end zone. A lot of hype on Virginia. They actually went out and bought a roster. They bought a roster, but Tony Elliott still got to prove to me he can coach. I will take the Noles to go into. This is a Friday night game, though, man. This shit will.
They haven't played since 2019.
Yeah, which is crazy, but I mean,
they're in the same league. It's almost a decade they haven't played.
They're in those divisions, so it made it. Yeah. 8-game conference schedule too. I'll take the Noles, but I know some people are scared of this game. Some friends of mine that are Noles fans saying this one could be tricky. Virginia's got to prove it to me. Tony Elliott. Okay, I do see they paid for some guys. They brought in Chandler Morris at the quarterback spot. They brought in Harrison Whaley, the running back from Wyoming, who was on this very show last year. I do like some of the things they've done, but I just have to take Florida State right now until Virginia really shows me it. So 3-1. What are you doing here?
I think I'll co-sign. I think Florida State roster-wise is better than Virginia. But it is a home game for Virginia. They could potentially be 4-0 headed into this game. But I'll take Florida State 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. Then, oh boy,
here's the game.
This game, this rivalry in the 80s and 90s, I can't emphasize, even though they still play each other, it hasn't been. You know what I think it is Miami destroying the Orange Bowl. Those idiots. Like, for some reason, I mean, you could argue this is to me like the premier rivalry in college football for like 20 years there, in the 80s to the 90s and early 2000s. I don't know what the hell happened, but it has not. It's been a lot of blowouts over the past, decade here. Oh man, I hate taking Mario Cristobal on the road in any matchup. He could be playing fucking Wagner, and I would be hesitant. But I gotta take sorry, Florida State fan. I think this is a winnable game though. It's a winnable game. I don't know what Miami's gonna look like. That Cam Ward's gone. Carson Beck comes in. They played a shit ton of. You know what? Fuck this. Give me Florida State. Win. 4-1. Get this Miami bullshit out of here. All right. God, like they have so many games last season. The Hail Mary against Virginia Tech. The Cal game where they're illegally blocking the guy down the field in the end zone. The Louisville game. I loaded up on Syracuse to ruin their season. It finally hit. I don't trust Cristobal on the road. I don't care how much money John Ruiz has. Give me Florida State. What are you doing here?
Yeah, and I'm looking at it. So Miami is off a bye. I think I'm going to take Miami. I think Miami just has a better roster with Carson Beck and company, but I'll be rooting for Florida State. I don't like Miami.
So I got them 4-1.
I got them 3-2.
And then Pat Narduzzi and the Pitt Panthers come to town in a series that goes back to the 70s. Look, if I'm giving them the Miami game, they are losing this. Because if they beat their arch rivals, then we party. I've been to Tallahassee. All right. Great fucking town. Everyone's scattered asses everywhere. You're getting cocktails served to you. Like, come on. Pat Narduzzi and Pitt, though, because one thing I'll say about Gus Malzhan, that's a gimmick ass offense. Narduzzi, I think, can pose some problems, I think. So I will say by this point, they get their second loss of the season. What are you doing here?
This is why I took Miami. I didn't want to take Pitt. Give me Florida State, baby. Let's go.
So we're at the same record then.
Yeah,
same record.
4-2.
4-2. Then
this game is hilarious.
They go to the farm. First ever matchup. Palo Alto, California. I bet Burt Reynolds would have, like, if you brought Burt Reynolds back to life and you told him, hey, we have a conference game at Stanford, he'll punch you in your fucking face. I'll tell you that right there. He's a, what's this? Win for Florida State. I have no idea. Stanford. How does Florida State get both Kent State and Stanford, the two coaches that were fired like in April? It's a great schedule.
It's phenomenal. Florida State should just win this fucking off raw talent. I mean, goddamn, you can't lose to Stanford out on the farm.
So 5-2.
They already have this game scheduled. It's 10:30 Saturday night. They've already got it scheduled. ESPN game.
5-2, right? I mean, this is
5-2. Why did the networks go out of their way to say we need Florida State at Stanford Saturday night at 10:30 on ESPN?
I have no idea. They got a bye week after coming back from Palo Alto. Look at the great Lee Corso, Florida State alum. His college roommate was that very Burt Reynolds, by the way. Gotta love that. Gotta love the history of Florida State football. Then they come out of it, and Wake Forest is on the schedule. Another first-year head coach, Mac.
This schedule's soft as shit.
I tell you, the schedule is genius for them. If they can just win a couple of those games. I was dumbfounded when Dickert left Washington State for Wake Forest. I still think Washington State, despite being in a two-team conference right now, the Pac-2, is a better gig than Wake Forest. But loss for Wake Forest. Win for Florida State. I don't think Wake Forest is going to be any good this year. So, load up. What are you doing here?
Yeah, off the bye too. Yeah, give me Florida State.
All right, then they head to Burt Reynolds heads to Clemson, South Carolina. Okay, this will be a loss. Feel pretty good about this being a loss, but you never know. Malzahn magic's a thing. Random games, they can get up and clip somebody. Trick plays, onside kicks, all that shit. But I'll take Clemson. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm not betting against Clemson in that stadium against Florida State. I mean, Florida State was better than them 2 years ago, and Clemson still should have beat them in that building if they just made a 20-yard field goal at the end of the game. Yeah, Clemson rolls.
Yeah. Then Virginia Tech comes to town. What is this? This is November 15th. I don't have Brent Pry making it through this season. The question is, where is the threshold of him being fired? Which is another reason why I love this fucking schedule if I'm Florida State. So I will take the Noles to beat Virginia Tech. What are you doing here?
7-3. I got to win as well, man. We're already at the over.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play devil's advocate in a second here, but you got to like that. Then they head to Raleigh, North Carolina to take on the Pussy Pack, known as NC State. I will take NC State. I've been to this exact game before, where NC State actually they stormed the field when they beat
Jameis, right?
Christian Ponder, maybe Jameis, one of the two. I'll take NC State, but it's not. I mean, it's NC State. This is just the type of game they lose too. But give me NC State just because you have the Florida game on deck.
I will. I'll agree with you. Give me NC State. NC State has always traditionally been a thorn in the side for Florida State. I remember multiple times them clipping them, and it was Ponder because Jameis went undefeated. Yeah, give me NC State, 7-4.
Yeah. Look, people are giving us. We're too optimistic from a 2-win team a season ago. Then you got the big game, the Sunshine Showdown. Florida State at Florida. Now,
it's an interesting game.
I have to take Florida because it's at the Swamp. But will Napier coach this game?
Will Norvell?
There's a lot of. I mean, will Norvell be coaching this game? There's a lot of intangibles. This is why it's so hard to do our job, even harder these days than like when we were doing the show 7-8 years ago. I got him going. I got Florida State going 7-5, but I'm on the over because the win total is 6.5. They're plus 2,800 to win the ACC, plus 1,400 to make the CFP, plus 25,000 to win the Natty. What are you doing here?
I got them 7-5 as well. I mean, to look ahead, they have that line out. Florida's laying 10.5. I would take the points right now, but I don't really want to touch this game this early on. But yeah, give me Florida to beat them again, and 7-5. So 12-0 regular season 2 years ago, 2-10. We split the difference at 7-5 this year.
I want to build a case though that this schedule is fucking incredible because. I think if you get hired at whatever ACC school and you're saying what teams do you want in your schedule, I would personally say for this season, Stanford would be my first draw. Wake would be my second draw, right?
Yep.
I believe Virginia and Virginia Tech would be on my list of teams to draw, right? And I would probably still, after all that, put NC State as one of the obviously they're one of the better teams there, but let me ask, part of what I love about the schedule is the fact that the final 3 games of the season are very tricky to me not for Florida State standpoint, but for projecting. I think there's a shot Brent Pry's not coaching that Hokie game. I think there's a shot Dave Doran bounces NC State, so he could be checked out, right? He's already interviewed for a job. Right? Wisconsin, perhaps, right? With his ties to up there. And then with Billy Napier in Florida, we have no idea that he'll be there at that point. So there is a scenario where this schedule goes great. You're looking at like basically there's a scenario where like Alabama, Miami, and Clemson are the only teams on there with that are really good. You know what I mean? So, Now to play the other side of that coin, if they lose to Virginia and Miami and Pitt in a row, Norvell will be fired, and that's possible. That Virginia game, like to me, Miami and Pitt are certainly possible. That's why that Virginia game could be the most telling. And I don't know how well you're going to know your team after Texas A&M Commerce and Kent State.
At least they have Alabama early. They'll learn a lot in that Alabama game. I mean, dude, to your point. They miss SMU, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Duke, North Carolina. Like outside of Clemson and Miami, they got everybody in the bottom half of the league.
Yeah. Literally everybody. Like, okay, maybe Cal I would want on the schedule, but
Cal and PC are the only ones they missed.
Yeah, it's a great schedule. That's why I'll take the over. And there is a scenario where, like I said, like. What if they only lose to Bama, Miami, and Clemson? They're 9-3. Napier was fired, so Florida quit. So that game's not as hard. And you're sitting there saying, okay, NC State was 6-6. They could go 9-3 with 0 win. I mean, Pitt would be their only like maybe bowl team win. There's a scenario where that could actually happen.
What's the ceiling? I think the ceiling might be 10-2.
I think the ceiling's 10-2. Now, what's the floor? If they lose to Bama, like I said, if they lose that 3-game stretch and they fire Norvell and the whole team quits.
4-8.
Yeah. Maybe
3-9 if they
maybe 3-9. Maybe 3-9. But I'm on the over, man. 6.5. I got them 7-5, and I think, like I said, if Napier's not, I took Florida in that game. If Napier's not coaching, I could see Florida State winning that game. So, give me the over. Give me the over. I feel decent about it, despite a chance that he could get fired.
There's just so many different ways to get to the over.
Yeah.
I mean, what's a for sure loss? Bama and Clemson?
Yeah, Miami's definitely not a for sure loss because Cristobal, and then that's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
I'm on the over. I feel decent about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would double. 4 wins would double.
I'll tell you
the shots are being fired. What's that?
They wouldn't be the worst team to look at a potential ACC future.
It's not. Yeah. What did I say it was? Plus 2,800 to win the ACC. Because hear me out here. What if they have Malzhan Magic and they upset Clemson? And then they don't even play Clemson in the championship game. What if they play, what if Clemson fumbles or, fumbles the season or Klubnik gets injured or something? What if they end up playing, I don't know, SMU or, Duke or something, then you got to like their chances. It's worth a sprinkle. If you're a Nole fan, it's worth the sprinkle at plus 2,800 to win the ACC, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, and what if Clemson loses at Georgia Tech and at Louisville, and say Florida State still loses, and that's their only league loss? I mean, they're going to be outside of Miami. They'll be favored in all those other games in ACC play.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Maybe NC State's probably a coin flip.
What if they're taking on Chapel Bill in the championship game?
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I think you sprinkle that. Why not? Why not, folks? All right. Well, look, you've caught us in the middle of a triple header. We are going to be talking about the Wyoming Cowboys in about 15 minutes. And then after that, we are going to talk about the Washington Huskies. So, triple header on the college football experience. Remember, we're breaking down all 136 teams. I put together a nice Florida State slideshow for the way out here. So, Nole fans, I think you'll dig it. But excited to see how this season goes. Let me ask you something. If they fire Norvell mid-season and Gus comes in, could they? We just said he's the better head coach as the OC. Could he steer them in the? Yeah. What if they lose to Bama by like 40, and then Miami puts it on them and they fire him after the Miami game, even though they're 3-2?
That would be fascinating because Malzahn is a guy that could catch lightning in a bottle.
Oh yeah, he could.
I think Norvell finishes the year and then, but what's the record that would get Norvell canned? They miss a bowl again?
Yeah, I think so.
They got to at least get. He's got to at least get.
Even if they lose the bowl game, I think it might be a little tricky. 6-7.
Yeah, you're probably right because then he would have 4 out of 6 losing seasons.
Yeah. Look. I love seeing the chat. We got the shit talk going on right now. Let's go. The BYU show is coming at some point. Don't you worry, Chris. All right, folks. Enjoy the slideshow here. We'll be back in 15 minutes talking Wyoming Cowboy football, team that cost me a bunch of money last year is Wyoming. Till next time, this is the college football experience, Florida State Seminoles style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Can't be found. My celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins. Over my head, watching hair as it thins. Over the ledge, it ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a Friday day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found. Until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 and a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit. And I ain't 45 king. But on the beats, I've been doing my thing. I start the program and the doorbell ring. I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. American dreams, lessons, and still they work. I guess the sand on the beach still was really dirt. Now I'm going home, flying over Rome at 30,000 feet. Like, damn, is that really Earth? I see the killers work on walls, familiar turf. Got a little school in graph, 101 was first. Got a little school in math, didn't really work. But put the numbers on the block and I make them hurt. Any block is my stomping ground where my people lay low so they can't be found. They don't wanna be, ain't from the crew, but I'm honorary. Liquid, soul assassin, psycho harmony. Type of armory that's more than a shield. Type of armory's DeLorean steel. Type of warrior's ill. So true to my sound, but dig deep so it can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.
It's the revenge of our stealth, the intelligence plane. A manifestation of karma. The far left, low keys, let it be. Listen, whispering words of wisdom. Ghost dog breathe in the shadow of leaves. Same darkness high criminals, crooks and thieves. Special forces, black ops. Bad brains, fishbone, black rock. Matter of fact, Chuck Berry and James Brown. But most of the true story can't be found. Unchained melodies inscribed to freestyle. I rock rhyme mosaics more potent with each style. Crack the system more open with each file. Upgrades and free hotels with these miles. Expansion team dilated peoples in town. If there's a better sound in it,
can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.
The name Beacons. I will tell you about it now.
Well, I had a vision when I was 12. I saw a man on a flaming pie